You trained as a vet doctor, and then you moved into lecturing, and thereafter you moved into this business. How did it all go? Tell me the history.
Well, right from my high school days, I've always wanted to be into one form of production as an entrepreneur. So when I was in the university studying veterinary medicine, I always called myself as a businessman. In fact, I remembered when I finished from the university, I did very well. I was invited back to come and be a lecturer because of my performance after my graduation. And one of my lecturers in my earlier days in the university saw me coming back after my national service to take up a lecturer job, and he started laughing at me. He said, but you are priding yourself as a businessman while a student, you have come to university, then you miss your road, that this is not the place for you if you want to be a businessman. So, and after 1 year in the university, I left.
It's one thing to know what you want to do. It's another thing to get fired up, and it's a different ball game altogether to have the wherewithal to do it. Now, I understand that you would have needed financing, land, and all of those. How did you start the business? Where did you get the support from?
The little amount of money I made as a teacher and as a hustler during the day, we got a room at Yanokwaja, 1 bedroom, 1 room. And then we started a shop there. In the morning, my wife would stay there. I would go about going from one farm to the other. Then in the afternoon, I would go and teach. So because we had something to give that was different from what was being bandied around. So we got a lot of clientele because we were doing essentially what we were doing at that time was troubleshooting in farms, poultry farms around. But
You were consulting.
come again?
You were consulting.
Consulting, yes. So because the way we were doing it was quite different from what the farmers around were used to, and they were getting results. So we started building clientele. Before we know it, our place became a hub.
So, Animal Care Support Services Limited, tell me about what you do here.
Animal Care is in the business of providing comprehensive support services we started with that aspect of the business, providing comprehensive support services, troubleshooting for farms. Then we also went to direct production, initially with poultry, point of lay business. We are still very much in the point of lay business, and then also into laying. We started about 5,000 laying capacity in 1983. We were the first to start the local formulation of veterinary products to aid in our business of troubleshooting and providing ancillary services. We are also into laboratory services. We were the first to start a privately owned diagnostic and feed analysis laboratory. We also later on we went into feed milling. We have 3 feed producing plants all over the country, here to Gere, in Kano for the northern states, and in Nasaba for the southeast and the southern states. Yes, pretty much. Recently, we've diversified into fish farming, and we also working with Friesland Capina to to produce feed for dairy cattle, dairy farming. So in essence, we are covering the whole of the livestock value chain.
So what's the installed capacity of this factory?
We have a capacity to produce between 600 and 700 tons of feed daily, combined all over the country.
In what ways did the loan from the Bank of Industry impact your business?
Well, we were already on ground, so they helped us to expand the scope of our business. We didn't add any new business, but we expanded the existing business. So it gave us a leeway to expand the existing business, to bring in more modern equipment, to expand the capacity of both our feed milling and the egg production. So BOI facility came to help us expand the scope of our business.
Have you ever had to take loans from other banks other than the Bank of Industry? I'd like to know what your experience was like.
Definitely we did, and we still do. We still work with some other banks.
I'd like you to compare your experience with the Bank of Industry with those of other banks that you have had to deal with.
What the Bank of Industry offered us is the capital, let me say the assets for us to procure assets. But assets is just install an asset. You need working capital to be able to put those assets to use. So we need the assistance and the facilities from the commercial banks.